Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Unsportsmanlike, your source for the weirdest and the worst in sports. I am Greg Cherry, joined alongside a man who's very excited for this week because the Hall of Fame game's on Thursday. It's Jarrett Bailey.
It is. Jarrett. Like we've got an NFL football game this week, and honestly, like everybody talks every year how like the offseason drags. Like this one went by really quick, at least to me. I don't know how anybody else feels, but like to me, this feels like this offseason went by very fast. This one seems to have flown by faster than others. But yeah, I don't care if it's going to be third stringers. I don't care if we're going to see 90% runs. I don't care. Football will be played and it will be nice. So, but no, I am doing good, Greg Cherry. I'm doing good.
I mean, we've seen some weird plays in the Hall of Fame game. I mean,
fake punt with the Titans did a fake punt, 2008, which is
exactly
beautiful.
The play I was thinking of. Oh,
yes.
They need to bust those out in the regular season too, because that was slick. That was so good. Fooled everybody.
I would love to see Tennessee break out the old Oilers uniforms. I would like to see the Texans just be renamed the Oilers. Like I understand that it's like Titans continuity. However, saw in basketball how the Bobcats became the Hornets, even though the Hornets went to New Orleans and then became the Pelicans. So I think there is precedent for this in professional sports. Make Houston the Oilers again, because the Texans, one, they got a crap logo, a crap name, crap uniforms, it's just crap all around. Make it good again.
I mean, if you think about it, the Ravens used to be the Browns.
Exactly, yeah.
And then Cleveland reinvented themselves in '99. So it's like you said,
there's precedent for it in the NFL.
Absolutely. So why not do it? I mean, the Texans is kind of a lame name anyway. Like you're already in Texas.
It's so lazy. And the uniforms aren't good.
Yeah, you don't see either Pittsburgh or Philadelphia call themselves the Pennsylvanians. I mean, that's just redundant.
Exactly.
Anyway, we're not yet to football season. We're right on the verge, and when football plays happen, it's going to make both of us very happy.
We're edging to football season.
Oh my gosh, I want football season to come so bad. Don't clip that anyway.
I hope Jimmy doesn't get mad at that.
Hey, we both love football. He knew what he was signing up for. So we're going to talk about first of all. The San Francisco Giants and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Carlos Rodon, I'm terrible with baseball names. He got pulled from a game, and he decided to throw a little bit of a temper tantrum.
Another tantrum this week?
Another tantrum this week. This one, though, caused physical harm. As you can see, he's not the one in the spotlight. He's the one whipping his glove back because he's frustrated and hit this guy in the face.
Yeah, this guy's just standing there trying to consult his friend, I assume, and he just takes some leather to the nose.
Oh, but that's not all. Because shortly after that, he kicked the baseball bat, as you can see circled, and it hit a pitching coach in the knee.
See, I mean,
you're taking out your own people at that point.
I said last week that I'm a ginormous fan of like baseball temper tantrums because they're really funny. As long as they don't hurt other people, they're still very funny. Now, I assume that both of these guys were fine, so it's still probably pretty funny. Be careful when you go on a temper tantrum.
Yeah, at least wait till there's nobody around so you can throw your fit, overpaid millionaire. You know, I just don't get it. Like, listen, I'm a very competitive person. I will admit that. I will do whatever it takes to win, but I'm not going to throw a fit and like cause injury to people around me because things aren't going my way.
Right.
You know? Like I'll do what normal people do, sulk and be pissed about it.
Yeah, no, I don't recall. I'm trying to think. Have I ever thrown a temper tantrum during? Oh yeah, yes I have. High school basketball, yes, I have. On the bench, because I got pulled and I was pissed. So I took off my arm sleeve and I threw it behind me, sat back nonchalantly on the bench, and then I got suspended for the first half of the next game.
Jeez.
Good times.
Oh, good times. I don't remember if I ever have. Like, my sports experience as a player is limited, but I don't think I ever got to that point of just being pissed
I
off.
tell you what, man, I do miss high school sports. Like that was, I don't think you realize it like in the moment, but like looking back, it was so much fun. So much fun. Yeah, so yeah, high school basketball was a big, like, I'm not gonna pretend I was anything special or anything. I wasn't, but it was fun and I miss it.
See, I remember one time at a high school basketball game, I went to watch, and like, I used to live in Freeport. So like I went to high school there, and the team won the game. And then after the game, you go and like congratulate the players and stuff. And then the other team, don't remember who they were playing for the life of me, but it was like, I'll see you outside. And it's like, what are you gonna do? Fight over a basketball game? Like you got rolls of quarters, you got like it's like grease or something up in there. And I don't get it. Like what's the point? Like it's a high school basketball game. It's not like there's any money on the line,
I mean, I get it. Like for me, I mean, I was competitive. I got teed up before.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, multiple. Well, once in junior high, once in high school, so twice.
Oh, jeez.
I did get teed up in junior high. That's a different story for a different day, though. But no, I love high school sports. Are so damn fun. I miss it. I do miss it a lot. We won districts my sophomore year. That was exciting. That was fun. Yeah, it was very fun. So yeah, high school sports. Everybody who plays them, I promise you, like looking back on it, everybody's like, "Damn it! Like I wish I held on to this more." It goes by fast, and I miss it. It is very fun.
Part of me wishes I would have participated in it more. All right, next up, more baseball. And there seemed to be, especially this week. This week is going to be very thematic of pitchers have issues in Major League Baseball. That's going to be a running theme for the episode. And, when you attempt to pick off somebody at first base like pitchers do, and it's hard to do, especially when you're a right-handed pitcher and your back is toward first base. I don't know how the pitchers do it.
Can I just say how much I hate when people try to pick off base runners? Like 999 times out of 1,000, you're not getting them out. It's annoying. That's my least favorite play in baseball. Absolutely my least favorite.
Well, then you'll enjoy this because this one goes very poorly.
I'm sure it does.
So if you're going to attempt to pick off a runner on first base, how about you make sure the first baseman's there?
Okay, I lied. 998 times out of 1,000, they don't get him out. Not the one time out of 1,000, this happens, and it's hilarious. And they deserve every second of it because I hate when pitchers try to pick off people. It doesn't work. He deserves it. I don't know who the pitcher is. I don't know who's playing. It looks like the Astros against somebody. Whoever did it deserves it. Everybody, he deserves it. Deserves it.
The Astros and the A's. It's how do you like you have to look that direction to see if your first baseman's even there to begin with. It's mind-blowing. He's not even like he's in position as if there's nobody on base.
Yeah, like I don't get. I don't know, man. Baseball's weird to me. I don't get all the ins and outs of baseball. I'm not gonna pretend I do, but that hands down the most annoying thing in baseball. I wish they would outlaw that. Like people talk about, like, look, it's a universal DH now, which they should have done a million years ago. Oh, yeah, I think it's time to outlaw the pickoff in baseball,
or at least limit it, because like
everybody talks about like ban the shift. Like no, ban the pickoff. Ban the pickoff.
Because it's such. You're right. It is a stupid play, especially when they do it like 3 times in a row. It's like, get on with the game.
If you do it, you can only do it once. You should not be allowed to do it more than once. It's so annoying. And that, like, even the fans, like, you'll hear, if you're watching a game live, if they do it more than once, people start to boo because they're like, dude, you're not going to, like, stop. Yeah. This game's already slow enough. I'm already hammered. Just fucking.
Like, it takes
just carry on.
45 seconds per pitch. Like, come on. There's 9 innings of this and 162 games in the regular season.
I'm not against a pitch clock in baseball, by the way. Like a shot clock for basketball, absolutely baseball needs to speed
up. I think they have a pitch clock now. Like I think it's a 30-second pitch clock.
I did not know that. If they do, I'm not aware of it.
It's a very recent ad, but
I know that they test out a lot of these in the minor leagues where they're like, all right, we'll try this in single A, see how it goes. But yeah, no, if they do, I didn't know that. So hopefully, if it's a thing, great. If not, they should do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I do want to say real quick, if you support the show or you want to support the show, go to kynchats.com and leave us a little something. Your comment will get read on air. And we love to do that. We love to do stuff like that. We're going to continue on in our theme of pitchers need to learn how to throw. So I want to say, when I played Little League, I was guilty of doing a throw like this because I felt I was close enough to the person that I didn't have to overhand whip it towards them. So I threw it underhand, and it took too long to get there to get to first base. I played second base at the time. But this is even worse than that because the pitcher threw the ball to first base and threw it about 5 feet over his head.
Yeah, I mean, if he was throwing to Yao Ming, maybe that's probably still too high.
I think it is too high. Yao Ming would have to be on top of like a 6-foot ladder to get that.
Yao Ming would have to be standing on top of the great Kali. Yeah,
probably still have to reach up.
I'm going to assume that it probably just slipped, but yeah, no, you can pretty much just copy and paste what I said for the last one. Like, it's just funny watching pitchers mess up. Now, this wasn't a pickoff, right? This was just trying to get somebody out at first.
This was a grounder to the pitcher's mound and a very poor attempt at
throwing
the ball to first.
Yeet, and it went all the way. You know what? It was just the Royals and the Angels.
Right. You're right. Yeah, it's the Angels and the Royals.
Good for me. Yeah, no, I
there you go.
I'll say this. I like the Royals uniforms. I'm a big fan of baby blue.
Baby blue is a good color. I mean,
and just like in sports in general, like it looks good on the Royals. The Chargers uniforms are great. The Hornets uniforms are gorgeous. Like, I'm a big proponent of get more baby blue in sports.
Yeah. University of North Carolina.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Dude, North Carolina's football uniforms are to die for. Like, the blue and the white, I don't know what it does. It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. I might like North Carolina's more than the current Chargers.
That's fair. I mean, North Carolina's uniforms are amazing. Way better than Oregon's. And I think we've had that discussion.
I was going to say, we've had this discussion where Oregon sucks. Their uniforms are terrible.
The Oregon sucks.
Like I'm all for like having fun uniforms if they look good. None of theirs look good. They all are horrible.
They're all different every game, from what I understand.
That's I don't mind that too much. I'm more into tradition stuff. So I'm a Penn State fan. You see it above my head. So obviously I'm a fan of traditional uniforms. I know you're a Notre Dame fan. They've got more traditional uniforms. Ohio State's uniforms are very. I know that they do a few alternate uniforms, but for the most part, their uniforms are pretty. They're pretty traditional.
They're good.
Michigan. Looking. Yeah, no. I think most of the Big Ten has some pretty traditional uniforms. So yeah, Oregon though, it's not good. It's not good.
No, not at all. It's not even a good color scheme. Like green and yellow. It's like, ugh.
And I know that you're big into college football, Greg. I'm not as big, and let me tell you why. Think of who the powerhouses in college football were 20 years ago. They're the powerhouses now. Nothing's changed. Absolutely nothing's changed.
Well, USC kind of fallen off the map.
Okay.
USC and Texas were like two of the big ones, and it's a running joke now in college football that Texas is back.
That's been a thing for 5 years in college football. Okay. Texas is back.
When Texas beat Notre Dame in a double overtime game in 2016 to kick off the season, that game sticks in my mind.
I watched that game.
I watched that game too. Unfortunately, I watched that game, and they were like, "Texas is back," and then they went 5-7 for the season.
Yeah, they've gone through it's been Charlie Strong, Tom Herman. They just can't. After the Tom Herman hire, I think that's when everybody was like, "Okay, he's coming from Houston. He helped turn Houston into a relevant team." And then he goes to Texas. They give him big money, and he's gone within 2 years. Yeah.
I mean, they still get the smack laid down on them by the Sooners. So I don't think
even last year when I think last year they were beating Oklahoma by 1 billion points, and then they allowed them to come back, and they lost Oklahoma. Like, by the way, I mean, we're talking about great uniforms. Texas, great uniforms, amazing. I love the burnt orange and white. It's been a long time since they've been anything in college football. No, I will say this: college football is better when Texas is good. College football is better when USC is good. None of them have been. I think that USC getting Lincoln Riley, I'm excited about that.
I'm biased when I say college football is better when Notre Dame's good.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, I get it.
College football is better when Penn State's good.
Who's their head coach now? Because Brian Kelly left.
Marcus Freeman. He was the defensive coordinator, and he actually formerly played for Ohio State. So that's going to be a fun, first regular season game.
They play each other in the first regular season game.
Yeah.
That's fun.
That kicks off the regular season in Columbus.
Well, I'll be rooting for Notre Dame that week, Greg.
Well, there you go. But also from Ohio State, James Laurinaitis, I believe, is on the coaching staff of Notre Dame now, too.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's a nice little trading places, isn't it?
I mean, I'm not going to complain. Like he's an actual good Laurinaitis.
I remember. That was funny. I remember watching him play at Ohio State. I think, where the hell did he get drafted? He get drafted to the Rams? James Laurinaitis?
Yeah, that sounds right.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I believe he was the Rams when they were still in St. Louis.
The amount of times Ohio State has broken my heart as a Penn State fan. Well, let me correct myself. The amount of times that Penn State has broken my heart playing Ohio State when they've had leads, it's ungodly. I hold grudges against James Franklin. I love James Franklin, but oh my God, it's bad.
Do you think that they got screwed a couple years ago
when they didn't make the college football playoff? Yes. Absolutely.
They won the Big Ten championship and
they beat Ohio State, who got into the college football play. The whole thing's stupid. I think maybe that's why I'm like. Look, don't get me wrong. I enjoy college football. However, I do think that wins and losses don't matter as much as they should. Like, at the end of the day, I think that the committee's going to do everything they can to get in Ohio State, to get Alabama in, to get Georgia in, stuff like Cincinnati. Didn't Cincinnati finally get in this past year?
Cincinnati made it in. I feel like if Alabama would have lost, the top four would have been Georgia, not Clemson. Clemson wasn't good that year.
Clemson wasn't good this year, yeah.
No. I think Ohio State. So it would have been Georgia, Ohio State, Cincinnati, and Notre Dame would have been the top four.
The thing from a few years ago,
Bama being Georgia in the SEC championship screwed the Irish, which didn't matter because Notre Dame lost to Oklahoma State in the bowl game anyway.
Yeah. I remember a few years ago, everybody was up in arms because UCF didn't get in, and then they just murdered Auburn, and which I think a lot of people were very happy about. Because I think UCF was that little engine that could college football team, and they finished undefeated that year. So, like, look, I think the college football playoff should expand a little bit. I think 6 teams would be good for a college football playoff because the NFL's got 7 and they've got 32 teams. Division I college football has 130 some teams.
They've talked about doing 8, which
you don't need 8. You don't need 8.
If they did 8, you have to eliminate some bowl games.
I can agree with. Okay, yeah, that's a fine playing ground.
Playoffs, the big bowl games, like the New Year's
New Year's Six or the playoff.
Be the playoff game.
That's fine. I can get behind that. I can get behind that.
I couldn't really do that.
Here's the thing: like, they're not gonna get rid of bowl games because they still make money.
Yeah, they still make money.
You could have every team in America, doesn't matter what your record is, play in a bowl game. Like, it doesn't. You can play in the Scott's toilet paper bowl, and people will still watch it because it's football, and especially around that time of year. Like, if it's December 21st, you got family over. Hey, turn on the toilet plunger bowl, and we'll sit down and watch Idaho State play roast beef A&M, and we'll have a great time doing it. They can have a trillion bowl games that people still watch, especially people who went to the schools.
Oh, yeah. People who went to the schools are going to watch. And people who are fans of the teams are going to watch. It's like when Notre Dame played LSU a couple years ago. I don't remember what that one was. I mean, they played LSU a couple times in recent bowl games and won both of them. But those were good times. Hey, we're kind of off the rails with the football talk, which
That's
I'm not
fine. Yeah, no, I mean,
I'm not going to complain about it at all. I mean, we could go on and on, but we're going to go back to the pitchers being not great at their jobs.
Is this all the show is this week for clips?
It's a lot
pitchers?
of it. It's probably about half of it, honestly. So the Yankees and the Mets played each other. And I don't know what it is about the Mets, but the Mets have like this attitude like they're better than the Yankees. And they've won, one World Series in my lifetime. So
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. Don't care.
But hey, if you're going to make a routine play, we've seen, make sure you have control of the ball, make sure you're throwing it to that person. And yeah, make sure you have control of the ball.
This reminds me of, I used to have, so my dad had an NFL Films video. Yes, I am going to make this about football. Football Follies. NFL Films did like a series called Football Follies, where it was just kind of like this show, actually, where it was just a half hour of people messing up, and it was great. And they did like a 5-minute thing of like quarterbacks just letting go too early and throwing it. I think Jameis did it this past year. I can't remember against who. I want to say it was against New England or Carolina where he did that, because I tweeted about it and Saints fans got pissed at me.
What year was it that Jameis Winston, like somebody made a joke that Jameis Winston should have a 30 for 30 because he
threw 30. That was
picks.
2019.
I figured it was a recent. I didn't think it was last year. I figured
it was last year with Tampa. So that was 2019, because Tom's first year with Tampa was 2020.
Yeah. And he was the first one to win a Super Bowl in his home stadium. And then
Tom Brady can do anything.
Yeah. It's kind of like bittersweet. It's like, of all the people to do that, like he needed it. 7th Super Bowl ring, first to win the Super Bowl. And it's like, does Brady need any more? Like, he's already proven like nobody's ever going to top his records.
Dude's a robot, man. He's addicted to this. As time goes on, like I just grow to love him more. Like as a Steeler fan growing up, like obviously, like when I was younger, I was like, I hate Tom Brady. But like as I grow more into adulthood, I'm just like, hi. Especially, he's funny. Like on Twitter, he's great. He is a hilarious human being.
I think it's easier to like him now that he's not with the Patriots.
I can agree. Yeah, I can agree with that.
Like the Buccaneers haven't won a ton of championships. Like,
yeah, if anything, he's just doing some good deeds now.
Yeah. He won't have Gronk this year though, because Gronk retired again.
Oh no! Here's the thing with Gronk. He's great in the red zone. They would have done the exact same thing they did last year if he wasn't there.
Yeah,
he was a name alone. He's similar to how this like Jerome Bettis winning Super Bowl in his final year. The Steelers, he meant nothing to that team. Absolutely nothing to that team. He was morale more than anything. He missed the first month of the year. Willie Parker was the starter. Deuce Staley was still there. Jerome Bettis was there to kind of ride shotgun, catch a ring on his way out.
Mm-hmm. Good old fast Willie Parker. That was a fun Super Bowl to watch. Especially because it got the stink off of Super Bowl 30.
Yes.
So more pitcher follies.
Jesus, this is a slow time.
It is. But you know what? It's
next week we'll have a football thing to talk about, I assume.
Hey, if you want to transition to football, I'm not going to complain.
I'll be able to transition to football. Yeah. That should be what we do. Just anytime we have a clip, just how can we make this about football?
I'm sure we could somehow.
How can we make this about football and/or wrestling? Let's figure it out.
We will. Hey, we'll get there. The Boston Red Sox have been notorious on this show, and it's not because I'm a Yankees fan. It's because defensively they are making a ton of mistakes. Like if this was happening to the Yankees on a frequent basis, I would do that. But they're the best team in baseball right now, and the Red Sox aren't. I don't know what is in the waters in Boston. That's another topic for another time. But this was another routine play. Pitcher of the Red Sox ran to first base because the first baseman was playing the ball, and then the pitcher ran past the bag without tagging it and did not get the outs.
Was the first baseman not even there, or was he the one who kind of
the first baseman was making the play on the ball that was hit, and they threw it to the pitcher, and the pitcher ran past first base.
Interesting. Okay, well, I don't even know how you do that. Like how the bag's right there, homie.
Yeah, it's right there, and his momentum carried him past the bag, and he again did not get the out. You would think from where they're positioned that an out would have been had, but not too much.
Yeah, like that's yeah, I keep getting off center here as I lean. Yeah, I don't know, man. Baseball stuff.
Well, this one, I want to talk about this one because you can kind of transition this from football because Pat McAfee tweeted this play out.
Okay.
On Friday. Your near identical twin.
With the mustache, yeah, I mean, if he grew out a mustache and only this, then we'd be more identical as we used to be. But yeah, now that I keep making fashion statements with my face, we're starting to trend a little bit in the other direction. But yes, me and my unofficial lost at birth twin.
Yes. If at any point you make it to like where the Pat McAfee show is in Indy, or like a WWE event comes along, like a SmackDown or a pay-per-view or something, premium live event. If you make it to any of those, you have to get a picture with him. Like it just has to happen.
Yeah, I mean, eventually I'm sure I'll run into him. And I'll just bring up, hey, people on Twitter say we look alike. Let's just look, Pat is one of the nicest human beings, like in media, like in the world. Yeah. He would be very down for it. Plus, I'll just tell him, hey, I'm from Pittsburgh. I live on the South Side. Yeah. So, because that's where Tone Diggs used to live on the South Side. He might still have some connections here. So, when it comes down to it, I'm sure that there will be a meeting and Twitter will explode. It'll be fun.
It will. But the Rays and the Orioles were playing each other. And when you're trying to make a routine catch, it doesn't show it here, but he did not miss that ball because it hit him square in the face.
Dude, no lie, like getting hit in the face with a ball when you're like not expecting it to, that hurts.
I mean, even when you see it coming, like for context, baseballs, if you're not familiar, are not light.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Have you ever taken like a dodgeball to the dome?
No, but I do have a story from like junior high. People were like messing around in the locker room during gym class, and somebody took a softball and whipped at somebody. They moved, and it hit me square in the nuts.
I bet that felt good.
Oh, yeah. I was sitting in pain for a good 10 minutes.
Yeah, that would...
I was like, I don't care about anything else. I'm just going to sit here and try not to bawl my eyes out because it hurt that bad.
I mean, do you want kids, Greg?
Softball my ass.
You and your wife want kids, Greg?
Yeah. Down the line.
Okay, well, hopefully you can still have them.
Well, I hope the issue's not on my end because if it is, we know the source. Now, this is more pitching follies, but
holy hell's bells.
In defense of this, it wasn't a baseball player. Steph Curry attempted to make a first pitch, and it did not go well.
I just say I'm tired of hearing about Steph Curry. Just tired of it. I'm sure he's a nice dude. Tired of hearing about him. I get it. He won another champion. Good for him. Maybe it's just because I don't like basketball. Maybe that's it.
See, I don't follow basketball much either. Like
I used to be a very large basketball fan, and then I blame Steph Curry for me not being a basketball fan anymore because he started just shooting nothing but threes, and that's all the NBA is now, shooting nothing but threes. And so now I hate it, and it's sad because the Bulls are actually. I grew up a Bulls fan, and the Bulls are actually finally good again. So now I just feel like I keep up with them a little bit just because I'm like, all right, how's Zach LaVine doing? Lonzo Ball's hurt. That's unfortunate. Nikola Vucevic is very, very good. But yeah, no, like I don't like the fact that you can watch one game and you've basically seen the rest of the season because it's all the same.
Yeah.
They don't call travels. Call me an old man yelling at clouds if you want. That pisses me off more than the 3-point thing. I hate that. It's 2 steps, not 3. I hate it. Hate it. So yeah, no, I used to be pretty big in the basketball. I am not anymore.
See, I tried. Like, I like sports. I enjoy sports.
Yes.
Otherwise, I wouldn't do the show. But like basketball is just college is college is a little more exciting than the pros.
I don't like. I just like college basketball more. It's just
really.
I don't know any of these people. Like, I'll watch a little bit of the tournament just because it's fun. I'll make a bracket just for the hell of it. But college basketball, no, absolutely not. No.
I mean, I try to make a bracket, but again, I know very little about college basketball. So I just feel like, Kentucky, Duke.
But here's the thing. Like, I love Jay Billis. I think he's fantastic. He's funny. He's good at what he does. I just cannot get into college basketball. Just not my thing.
See, the only reason I like half root for the Kentucky Wildcats in basketball is because the coach of the Wildcats went to Clarion University, as did I. So, there's a little connection.
John Calipari. Yeah, we played our districts and whatnot at Clarion. Because that's the county that I lived in going to high school and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And there's a picture. Well, there's Kurt Angle's singlet in there because Kurt Angle also went to Clarion. Yep. So he's got a singlet. And then right next to that is a picture of John Calipari that they had some sort of exhibition or something against Clarion in like 2008 or something like that.
2009. Because I almost went to that, but I had like a communications or like broadcasting conference the same weekend. So I didn't go. But I could have had that opportunity to go to UK. I kind of wish I would have done that instead. Yeah, no.
So, and then they probably beat Clarion like 180 to 50.
Oh, yeah. It was a massacre.
Yeah. So, so those two things are like right next to each other in like the Clarion Sports Hall of Fame. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I love Clarion. Clarion's very, like, the university itself, like, it's not very big. Like, it's kind of in the midst of town. So, like, there's not really much of a campus per se. But, grew up in the area. So I definitely have a soft spot for it. I went to Slippery Rock. So that will always be my second home. I love it there.
Yeah. I pass my brother-in-law lives in Slippery Rock. So, we passed the campus.
He's a townie.
Well, he's not originally from there. Like, he went to Clarion too, but he lives down there, like, close to work.
I tell you what, man, you got to go there. Go to Bob's Sub.
Bob Subs is amazing.
Yeah,
Bob Subs is amazing.
But I will say this: like, I went to Slippery Rock, the Bob Sub in Clarion. I don't know why it's so much better. It is. It's incredible. I don't know.
It really is.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So go to the Bob Sub in Clarion, but also if you go to Slippery Rock. What the hell is in Slippery Rock that you can't really get? Cafaro's Pizza. Oh my God, Greg! If you've never had Cafaro's Pizza, some of the best pizza you'll have in your life. It is fantastic.
Is that the one from the bowling alley?
Yes.
Yep.
It is the one from the bowling alley. It's very good.
It is very good pizza. Now we're just talking about.
I will sit here and talk about Slippery Rock forever. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Now I just want to go to the brewery. That's all I want to do.
Dude, I love the brewery. Oh man. I'm gonna tweet this out and at all of my Slippery Rock people, all my professors and everything. They're gonna love it. They're gonna love it. It's gonna be great. Right. Yeah, no. Go to the brewery. Go to G Hill. It's great. Hey, we got a Dunkin'.
We know what clip we're gonna use for Twitter.
Yeah, we got a Dunkin' now in Slippery Rock. It's great.
I've been to that Dunkin'. Yeah, good stuff.
I would go there 4 days a week my senior year. Oh.
I don't blame you. Dunkin's got good stuff.
Dunkin' is so much more superior to Starbucks.
Well, I don't drink coffee, so I don't care.
In terms of pricing and quality, it is incredible. Yeah. I know we've got to talk about Brock Lesnar and whatnot. I get it, but I will.
We haven't even talked about the Steph Curry pitch.
I don't care about the Steph Curry pitch.
There's the Steph Curry pitch way off. All right,
Great.
There you go. Like, some first pitch, it blows my mind how many like athletes come onto a pitcher's mound and can't throw a ball straight. Like, is it like a coordination thing?
I don't know.
Because the first pitch I ever
Steph Curry especially, you think Steph Curry especially would be good at it, huh?
Like, the first pitch I ever threw in my life, like, I remember I was in Little League and like I went on the pitcher's mound, threw the pitch, like, and my coach held the glove here, and he didn't even have to move the glove. Like, perfect down the middle. Can never do it again. but that was the first pitch I ever threw. The rest of them sucked, but the first pitch I ever threw was right down the mountain. It's not that hard.
I never played baseball, so I don't know. Yeah.
There you go. Well, we have reached our play of the week. I'll call it a play of the week, but we got to talk about this moment from SummerSlam because I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns main evented the show for the third time against each other. And Brock Lesnar drove a tractor to the ring, and in the midst of the match, if you didn't see it, he picked the ring up and tipped it over. You know who I really felt bad for in this situation? All the people who couldn't see a damn thing for the last 5 minutes of the match because the ring was up, 10 feet from the floor?
I feel bad for the ring crew who has to pick that up and clean up everything.
I wonder if they were like, this is a junk ring. We're not going to use it again.
You know, SummerSlam, I didn't really have high hopes for it because, the card itself, I feel like we'd seen just about everything on it already.
Yeah.
Triple H's fingerprints were all over it, and he did fantastic. Fantastic. And I'm even seeing clips about Raw right now. I'm excited about WWE. This is the first time I can say I'm excited about WWE, and I don't know how long.
Yeah.
The fact that Dakota Kai came back with Bailey and Io, oh my God.
I popped for Dakota more than I popped for Io.
That's the thing. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it live. And then I saw all the stuff on Twitter. I was like, Dakota Kai, what the fuck? So I went back and I watched it. Oh, the pop was ungodly. It was great. So, the match with Brock and Roman, probably the best iteration of their never-ending feud.
I agree.
So, no, the pay-per-view, the premium live event, whatever the hell they want to call it now, Triple H is already making drastic, very, very good changes. I'm excited. I'm excited for WWE. Now let's start a petition to get Raw to 2 hours.
Yeah. I mean, he said himself in an interview years ago with Austin, that's what he wants to do. But if that's a USA call, then there's not really anything they can do about it. But
I suppose.
But that is it for this week of Unsportsmanlike. Hopefully the Hall of Fame game will give us some stuff to talk about because we might see some chaos there. But
if not, let's just do an all wrestling show next week.
An all wrestling show? All right.
I'm okay with that.
Well, if there's a ton of botches on Raw, SmackDown, Dynamite
Rampage, yeah.
We'll try and cover the gamut. Maybe some indie shows too. I was hoping that we would have started the show when Joey Janela caught his foot on fire because I had that loaded up. But a little dated now. Jarrett, where can we find you this upcoming week? I'm sure you're going to be heavy into football mode as the season approaches.
Yeah, man. As the season approaches, a lot of feature pieces, a lot of interviews coming out via print. So that'll be Sports Illustrated, USA Today, 33rd Team, all over the place. So you can find interviews with a bunch of different players and whatnot as we make our way through training camp. And I'll tweet all those out at JBailey NFL. So if you want to keep up with all of that, follow me there. But yeah, no, football is we're here. Yes. We have a game on Thursday. I'm so excited. Look, Trevor Lawrence isn't going to play. Derek Carr's not going to play. Devontae Adams isn't going to play. Nobody who, none of the stars on either team are going to play. I don't care. I do not care. It's going to be great. Everybody's going to be very happy. We're all going to sit on Twitter and we're going to talk about it together. It's going to be so much fun. But yeah, no, I'm excited both for, the content that's coming out in terms of the interviews and whatnot. Wednesday, I'll be doing show at the pump fake. It would be me. And I just want to clarify that we're doing it. Yes, we are still doing it. Jordan Schultz, if you don't know who Jordan Schultz is, he co-hosts the Pull Up Pod with CJ McCollum. See him on the Herd, First Take, stuff like that. He'll be talking contracts with me because a lot of guys got paid. So whether it's Deebo Samuel, DK Metcalf, him and I will be kind of breaking down all of the contracts from this past off season and what it means going forward. So yeah, me and Jordan Schultz Wednesday on the Pump Fake, bunch of interviews coming all over the place as well. So yeah, football mode, it's officially kicked in. and very exciting time.
And if you definitely want to razz Jared for his predictions for the NFL
Oh
season,
yeah, go do that.
Yeah, because my gosh, people roasted you for them. It's like
That's every time.
Fandom is ridiculous. It's like, oh, this team's going to go 13-4 because they do every year. It's like, dude, your team was like 6-11 last year.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, I've come to realize that no matter what you put out, people are going to be pissed off.
Yeah.
So I would rather be honest with what I think rather than just give chalk. And I would rather put out what I genuinely think. And look, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Like last year, the first one I put out, I don't think it was the final one. First one I put out, half the teams didn't make the playoffs. I think the final iteration that I did, like 10 of them did. But still, I mean, that's 4 that did it. So, yeah, it's they're predictions. They mean, in the grand scheme of things, they mean nothing. They're just a fun content piece for me to do and look back on and see how well I did. People get genuinely pissed about it, and it's hilarious. So, I don't care. If you want to go look at them, go ahead. I do one more. Now, I usually only do 2. I do one like post free agency and then one the week of the season starting. I did an extra one this year just because I figured why not? I was bored and decided to do it. So, I mean, I was operating under the assumption that Deshaun Watson wouldn't get very many games.
Yeah.
So that probably won't change too much. Depending where Jimmy Garoppolo ends up, that will impact that team. So I do one more of these after preseason because guys are going to get hurt. We've already seen a few guys get hurt, unfortunately. Yeah. So I do one final one that I hold up against myself the week of the regular season starting. So probably like the Tuesday before the first Thursday night game to kick off the season will be the last iteration of those. But if you want to go roast me, yeah, go ahead. It's on Twitter.
Yeah, because you won't be the only ones because
you will not.
He's taking a lot of crap over this.
Especially if you're a Dolphins fan.
See, I mean, they lost their head coach, who's now on the Steelers.
He is Brian Flores.
It's like I understand that the Dolphins went on a tear in the second half of the season, but they still missed the playoffs because it was too little, too late by that point.
I've talked about this several times, so I'm going to save my breath. I'll go make people read what I've written about it if they want to hear why I keep saying this. Yes, go read why I think the Dolphins will not be good on 33rd team. Go read that.
There you go. And obviously check out the Greg Cherry Show this coming Wednesday. Over on the Greg Cherry brand, we have a donation goal. If I hit $300 over there, I'm going to defend my wrestling trivia title in a 10-man gauntlet match. So
is that what that is behind you?
That's what that is. Yeah, it's my wrestling trivia challenge championship right here.
Where'd you get that made at?
So it was actually bought for me.
Really?
Yeah.
By a subscriber?
No, by my best friend Travis.
Okay.
So he bought that for me, custom made.
Wow.
When I hit 1,000 days as champion, I'm over 1,600 now. So it's one of those things that.
Was that on Fan Quizlemania?
No, like our own trivia show. Like I've won Fan Quizlemania like 9 times, which I just won this recent month. Different story, but yeah, I will defend the championship I've held for 1,600 days in a gauntlet match.
Oh, so that's on your YouTube then?
Yeah, that's on the YouTube. And I
who hopes that if you're the one who keeps winning?
My buddy Jeff.
Okay.
So like he makes all the questions, and I get them thrown at me, and I know some of them. His questions are ridiculous. But I was hoping, and maybe this is me just putting this out into the atmosphere here, I would love Sean to come on the show, like in the gauntlet, if we hit that goal. Because I know he's good at it, but
Sean is good at it.
He is good at it.
Oh, by the way, this is my official invitation to you because I hadn't invited you yet. Fantasy football. Would you like to?
Is it a paid league?
It is a paid league.
How much?
I think we decided 15. I think that's what the final vote was. 15 or 20, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I'd do that.
Okay, there we go.
Just let me know when the draft is.
Saturday.
Oh, this Saturday.
Yeah.
In the evening?
Noon.
Oh, noon. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I don't think I have any plans.
Okay.
Yahoo, ESPN, what?
Yahoo.
Yahoo? Okay.
That apparently everybody does Yahoo. I'm like the only person who didn't, so I obliged to the crowd. Which, by the way, I've started playing with it. It's great. So yeah, Yahoo's fine.
Yahoo's a pretty solid one.
Yeah, I'd never used it before, but yeah, everybody talked it up, and I can vouch that it is very good.
I mean, hey, maybe if I get bored, I'll live stream the draft, and both of us can be.
Yeah, no, we were talking about that. Like I mentioned it to Tempest and Louis, but again, they're on UK time, so I don't know how that will work for them. But
that explains the. Okay.
Yes.
It's just like a live negotiation right now. But yeah, I'll do it.
All right, word.
Cool. All right. And that will do it for this week's Unsportsmanlike. For Jarrett Bailey, I'm Greg Cherry. We'll see you next week. And don't be a pitcher.
Don't be a pitcher.